Hi there, welcome to Kapow WoW Maths. Today we're going to be rounding numbers to the nearest 10, okay? And on other videos that we'll be rounding to the nearest 100 and then possibly thousands, okay? So there are certain key rules that you need to understand when rounding, and the first key rule is what numbers means we round up or down. So my way of remembering is if it's 0, 1, if it goes from 0, 1 all the way to 4, you round down to the floor, okay? And if the numbers are numbers 5 all the way up to 9, you round up to the sky. So pretty easy. 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. Okay, so we'll go through some numbers and we'll start with some smaller numbers and gradually build up to bigger numbers, and hopefully you can start to see a pattern. Okay, so let's start with some simple numbers. So let's start with this one. So let's say if we have 12, right, so we can see that there, 12. Now let's put our place value names in. So we've got units and we've got tens. Okay, now what we've got to realize is we are rounding to the nearest 10. So what we need to do, this is how Mr. Chris does it in class, we need to circle what we're rounding to. So which number is the 10? Yes, now it's this one here. Now we're looking at that one, so that number might change or not. So what we need to do next is look at the number next door, okay, which is a 2. Now that 2 tells us if we round up or down. Now remember that rhyme that we had? 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. So 12, we've looked at a 10, but this number next door tells us exactly if we round up or down. And what is it, rounding down or rounding up? 3, 2, 1, yes. It's rounding down because it's a 2, so the answer becomes 10. Okay, so we'll go through some basic simple ones here and then we'll build it up. Let's do another one. So let's say if we said 25. Okay, so let's follow this pattern of, let's circle the number that we're rounding to. So we are rounding to the nearest 10. So we need to circle our tens. So again, let's label. Okay, so we've got units where the 5 is and tens where the 2 is. Okay, as simple as that. Then next we're going to circle the 10. Which number is the 10? It is, excellent, the 2. Okay, so we've got 20 there. Right, we're next going to look next door. Okay, so it's a 5. Now remember our rhyme. 0, 1 to 4, we round down to the floor. If it's 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. And we've got the 5, so what do? We round up. Excellent. Now what we need to decide is, if we're rounding up, what's the next 10 after 20? So 10, 20, and the answer is 30. Okay, so we'll do one or two maybe more basic ones and then we'll start to get it a bit bigger, because when we come to tests they tend to make it a bit harder, okay, because they won't just give you tens, they might give you bigger numbers. So let's have a look at another number. Let's see if we have 43. Again, we are rounding to the nearest 10, so therefore we need to circle the nearest 10. Okay, so which number is the 10 in the 43? 3, 2, 1. Is it? Yes, it's the 4. And if we label that, like I say, the people and the children that do really well in tests are the ones that always do their workings out. So let's put the units and the tens. So now we've circled that 10. Okay, now we need to look next door. Okay, so it's a 3. So let's remember our rhyme. 0, if it's the number 0 from 0 to 1 to 4, we round down to the floor. And if the number is 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. So where is the 3? 2, 1. Yes, we round down. So what is the nearest 10? If we round down to 43, The answer is 40. Okay? Now, hopefully, we understand that. And in grade 3, we should really be understanding the basic like that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to try and do it to bigger numbers. Okay? So, we're doing pretty much the same thing. Okay? So, let's label our numbers. So, this will be, now this number here is 125. So, this is going to be units, tens, and hundreds. Now if we're rounding to the nearest 10, we need to circle the 10. So which number is the 10 in the 125? We circle that, and this is how Mr. Chris does it in class, and this is hopefully an easy way that you understand. If you don't understand, please ask and I'll try a different method. We then go next door, and now remember that rhyme. 0, 1 to 4, we round down to the floor. 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. And what number is it? It's 5. We round up. Now if you want to, let's just look at the number we got there. Say we've got 25. If we round 25 up to nearest 10, it'll be what? 10, 20, 30, but it's 100 there, so the answer equals 130. Okay, now what I will do, I'm going to do some other numbers, and then you can pause, and then I will give you, and then you can play and see if you get the answers right. So we'll do that at the end like a challenge. Okay, so let's do 400 and 413. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Now let's label units, tens, and hundreds. This is always good to understand the place value names. Now we're rounding to the nearest 10, so we need to circle the 10. So which number is the 10 in 413? You could get an exam question about that. It's the 1. Okay, so we've got 110 there. We're now going to look at the number before, which is the unit. Okay, so it's a 3. So remember that, right? If the numbers are 0, 1 to 4, 0, 1 to 4, we round down to the 4. 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. Now it's a 3, so we're going to round down. So let's not look at the 100 at the moment. If it was 13, what would that be? If we round it down to nearest 10, it would be 10, but it would be 410. Easy peasy, Glen and squeezy. Let's try and do one more like this. Let's see if we can do. Here we go. Now I'm going to, let's try and do a bigger number. 784. Okay, right, so remember to do that. We're going to, oh, wrong pen. Let's do it like that. Units, tens, and hundreds. Excellent. Go. You try and do it. You can pause it now and do it after each question, and then play it again. So which number is the 10? And this is quick workings out. Always make sure, it's always the best way of getting answers correct. The 10 is the 8. Well done. Okay, so that is the number. It might change, it might not. We need to look next door, remember? Right, so now it's a 4. So what do we do? 0, 1 to 4, we round down to the floor. 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. So the answer is going to be, it's a 4, so we're rounding down. So if we just cover that 7, it's an 84. What would 84 be rounded down to nearest 10? Yes, 80. But we've got 700, so 780. As easy as that. And like I say, we'll try and do a few more. Okay, now what I will do is we'll look at, we've looked at tens, we've looked at hundreds there. I'm going to possibly even just look at maybe 1,000, and then we'll finish there. Okay, so like I said, every time I do a question, you can pause it and then see if you get it correct. So let's have a look. Let's go for some other numbers. So if we go 2,346, it's the same process again. So let's get our pens out, and this is why workings out is very, very, very important. Units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Okay, now we're rounding to the nearest 10, so the only number that will change is the 10 and possibly the units. Okay, so let's circle that 10. It's a 4. Okay, let's have a look next door. Now it's a 6. Okay, so we could, if we want to make it easier, call it 46 at this moment. some children do get nervous. So let's have a look. 46, it's a 6. So 0, 1 to 4, we round down to the floor. 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. It's a 6. So we round up. Here we go. See that? We round up to the sky. So what's the next 10 after 40? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we would write 2,350. As easy peasy lemon squeezy as that. See that? So we're doing the same process. Let's go on to another number. Let's go, if we go 4,783. And the more you do this, especially the workings out, you'll find it really easy. And see how, Mr. Chris, I've got my pens for my workings out. So what I need to do, I need to get my green pen now, do my place value. So we've got units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Okay, so that is that. Now if we're rounding to the nearest 10, we need to circle the nearest 10. Okay, so let's do that. So that's the 8. We should know that now. We should be starting to see the pattern. We look next door, and like I say, you can pause between each of these frames and then see if you get it correct, making sure you're doing good clear workings out. Now it's a 3, so what we're going to round down to the floor or round up to the sky. 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. It's a 3, so we're rounding down. So again, if we cover this, so let's put our pens down. If we cover this and it's 83, what's the 10 before 83? It's 80, isn't it? So it's 4,780. Okay, so hopefully now you can start to understand the pattern of what we are doing. Okay, I'm going to try and do now 2 or 3 different ones here. You can then pause it and then we'll see if you can get it. So let's see. I'm going to say 366. See if you can do that one. Let's see if you can do 474. And let's do this one. 1,686. Okay, so you can pause that now if you want and try and answer that. Okay, and if you are struggling, please write a comment and I can do some more. Okay, so you pause it now if you want, and then we'll go through it. So if you've paused it there, what you should have done, we should have done units, tens and hundreds like that. We are rounding to the nearest 10, so we need to circle the 10. Okay, so that 10 there is the 6. Okay, now if we look at the number next door, it's a 6. 0, 1 to 4, we round down to the floor. 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. So we're going to round up is at 6. If we cover that 100 to make it easier, what's the next 10 after 60? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 370. Hopefully you got that correct. Okay, let's do the next one. So again, get them colour pens out if you do have them. If you don't, that's okay, but I prefer colour because it adds a bit more excitement and it makes me remember more as well. Right, we're rounding to the nearest 10, so we need to circle the 10. Okay, so we're going to circle the 7. You should have done this, and then we should have gone next door. Now it's a 4. What do we do? Round up or round down? 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, we round up to the sky. And if we cover that to make it a little bit easy, well, it's 74 and it's a 4, so we're going to round down. So it's going to be 70. So that should be, I'm going to write it underneath here so it's not too close to the other number. 470. Excellent. Now let's try and do that last big number. Okay, so, and in test they do like to do sneaky ones like this. Okay, thousands. Right, there we go. So if we have a look at that, which is the 10? Because we're rounding to the nearest 10, so the answer is the 8. Okay, so this is the number we're looking at. Then the next number, we go next door, it's a 6. So 0, 1 to 4, round down to the floor. 5 to 9, round up to the sky. And it's a 6, so we're rounding up. Now if we cover that, 86 to make it easy. What's the next 10 after 80? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So don't forget the other numbers. 1690. 1690. Hopefully that now make sure you understand how we round up, and I will be doing other videos about rounding up to nearest 100 and 1000, okay? So don't worry. Thank you for watching Kapow WoW Maths. If you have any comments, please put them below, or any questions, please put them below and I'll answer them immediately. Thank you for watching Kapow WoW Maths.